We're staying at St. Augustine's, and it's really fun. It's sort of dorm-like in one big area, mattresses on the floor, one tent set up outside that room.
You gotta figure, you gotta have at least 2 or 3 snorers in the group. This is just gonna happen. That's just statistically how it plays out. And I've known from the past that I may be a snorer and I'm not sure, and I can't claim it one way or the other, but what I do know is that I cannot sleep when there's any noise. I'm delicate that way. And so what I knew I needed to do is I needed to bring my kayaking tent with me. I have a very small tent, fits in the back of my kayak. I knew I needed to bring it with me, and I was just elated when I saw the balcony out here, and I thought, that's where I can put my tent. I will be not too far from the group, but separated from any random night noise that might be around. And it worked really, really well until the front came through. Torrential downpour came. My tent was fine, but okay, it was getting blown over. And so I decided I just moved the whole tent, picked it up, carried it into the parish hall, and so now I slept. Last night was the best night I had here in the parish hall. It's lovely.
I did a little survey before we went down to find out what people really hated and if they had any suggestions, and found out that the most hated food was liver. Now, I hadn't really been planning on cooking liver, but in fact I did find that out. And we basically worked out a system where we got a variety of cereals and breads and fruit for breakfast, and then people could have toast or different kinds of cereal and fruit. And then we got lots of different kinds of sandwich things, plus desserts and fruit and chips, and people packed their own lunches, so we set out stations in the morning. And then, based on people's responses to the survey, I recruited several people to cook.
Okay, so 30 people have to take showers in 1 hour. How's that going to work? It was fine.
It was a lot easier than I thought, though. I mean, I really enjoyed that part of it, getting to know people that closely. That was really a special part of the trip.
And we're staying in, I think, makeshift rooms. I think they're offices or something, or classrooms. I'm not sure, but that's fine. I mean, it's kind of 8 of us in a room that's normally used by the choir, I think, or something. So, you know, we do a bit of singing, a bit of talking on the piano.
Not surprising, it's been a great group of people. Everyone has a pretty good sense of humor and is willing to go with the flow. So it's always great to meet new people and develop new relationships.
Well, I'm reading a book about a woman who was in New York after 9/11, and how the city was trying to pull together, and all the good ideas and bad ideas that were coming. She was a civil servant, and she was fielding a lot of phone calls, and it just seems like people really cared about getting the World Trade Centers remembered and to get something rebuilt and to move on, and everybody was coming up with crazy ideas and good ideas and bad ideas. And I'm feeling like New Orleans hasn't gotten to that stage yet, that they're still just in shock.
But yeah, I mean, I find that really interesting in terms of the capacity for people to live with these things or to not live with that, and how people move on, how people deal with those kind of things.
Where's God? Everywhere and nowhere. I mean, everywhere, because you could say, oh, we had a great time, we met so many people, we made a difference in their lives, that was fabulous, and I feel better, and they feel better, and hey, isn't this great? In the midst of this disaster, this is the connections we've made. So that's God, that's everywhere. And then nowhere, because you know what? There's still a house that's in the middle of the street. So where's God? Coming and going.
This is a place where we can come together, do some work, and then if the opportunity presents itself, deal with the sacred questions of life. Life, death, rebirth. I mean, that's Christians, that's what we proclaim. And here, I mean, here we see it.
And actually thought our last service at St. Luke's was one of the real high points for me. When we redid the Lord's Prayer at the end and everyone from the congregation and our group was holding hands, I felt like that was a really powerful moment and was a little surprised at that for myself.
I just got this sense from everyone around there that they were so grateful for us being there. And I was grateful being there too. Just after seeing all this devastation in all these neighborhoods, and then I walked into this church and it was just gorgeous, and the service, everything was just beautiful and pristine, and everyone had a big smile on their face, and it was just a really joyous ending to the trip.